Welcome everyone, thank you for joining me for another special health focus Tai Chi and Qigong class. And today, first of all, I'm going to adjust. Today we're going to continue with our silk reeling practice. That's Chan Se Gong, it's Chen style silk reeling. And this is a foundation practice to help our body awareness, to help our Qi awareness, to combine mind, movement and breath all together. And it is a building block process to guide us into the vocabulary, if you like, of Tai Chi. So certainly Chan Se Gong helps you with all Chen style Tai Chi practice, but it's also very, very useful just as a health practice in itself. It has gentle, rhythmical repetition, which builds strength and allows us to go into a state of flow. So far in this series, we have looked at single hand, just to sort of recap, look at it, single hand silk reeling. We have then gone on to do single hand with stepping, which is the same, but adding some footwork. Like so, yes, just to bring you back a little bit of memory. And then we looked at double hands. I'm just realizing my trousers are so long, I'm standing on them. So our double hands is a little bit more complex, but has a thread of similarity. So our double hands, remember, could be at 90 degrees or 45 degrees. And had a double circle where we slid diagonally and turned at either end, bringing the hands forwards and down and back. So does that all ring a bell? So that's the double hands, and then of course we had double hand stepping, which was bringing in the back foot and stepping forwards with the front foot. I realise I'm going off screen here, but you get the idea. So that is what we have covered so far. Oh, and I think we also looked at our stepping back. So stepping back, I think, was what we did last week, which has this beautiful watery quality. I always think of water element when we do this stepping back Chan Se Gong. So notice it's not the same arm movements as the step back twist upper arm, or as in Yang style we call repulse monkey. Repulse monkey has the same leg work, but actually different arm work, creating quite a different feel. But in Chan Se Gong we don't do repulse monkey, and in Chen style they don't call it repulse monkey, they call it twist upper arm. But as I say, in Chan Se Gong we keep with this lovely waist height movement that is so very peaceful and relaxing for the kidneys. So all of those movements that we have covered make up Chan Se Gong 1. So today, why don't we do a revision going through all of those practices. So let's come over to the side. We're going to warm up as we go. Did we salute? I'm not sure if we did. We can do a quick salute. Hello. Thank you for joining me. Okay, let's relax down. So just to be kind to our bodies, let's do a little bit of warming up into the four corners. Do you remember this little rocking forwards and back? I called it a plank movement, but it's a bit like a wobbly seesaw. We keep our structure as we bring the hips forwards and back, and we breathe and relax into the movement. Very good. Just before we started recording, we were talking about hair and whether we left it down or let it dry naturally, and all the things. Once a student said, "I'd love to see your hair down." And I went, "No, you don't. You don't want to see my hair down." It's just kind of turns into snakes and starts moving around. It's very fine and fly away is the technical term. But the other day, like last week, I had washed my hair and I was having a very rare good hair day. By my standards, I was going, "Oh, my hair looks quite nice." And I actually taught a class with my hair down, which I have, I think, maybe done once before in my entire life. Changed direction and may never do again. But yes, it was an interesting experience, and it did behave itself somewhat. But maybe my teaching techniques have calmed down. So it used to be I would do exercises that would have you turning upside down and twisting around, and I'd end up looking like Cousin It from the Addams Family, just the hair right in front of the face. So yeah, what I would suggest to you folks is actually it doesn't matter how you wear your hair in Tai Chi as long as you're comfortable with it. And that's why, for the most part, I'm comfortable with my hair well and truly under control and tied back. Let's come back into center and we'll do the second movement just for, again, just easing our muscles and joints into movement before we do anything any more complex. So yeah, knowing what to do with your hair for any given sport is very important. I once wore bunches, you know, the sort of ponytails either side of my head, with my hair down to about here. And I went to a swing dance class and I was dancing with my teacher, and for some reason he wanted us to do lots of spins that night, and my hair was whipping him in the face for about half an hour. And you know, you could see him kind of smarting, and I was going, "Do you want me to change my hairstyle for you?" And he said, "No, that's part of the the joy of practice, that you have to adapt to how your partner is dressed." And after, you know, I was like, no, because I know what it's like to get whipped by hair. Being a ballet dancer, once or twice I went to class with a plait and I whipped myself in the face. Change direction, please. And so I've learned, no, it's not nice to get whipped by someone's hair. So I changed my hairstyle. It didn't bother me, you know, it's just as long as it's out of the way. But it's a very personal thing. You just want to be comfortable. Just like we wear loose, comfortable clothing, we want comfortable footwear, and we want our hair to be just so that we don't notice it, basically, so that we can just get on with things. So if it's coming across your face, or if it's tickling your neck, or just make it comfortable, and only you will know what's comfortable. Good. Let's come back to center. Ease from your stance. A little bit of movement. Very good. Okay, so let's get down to this. So we're going to do silk reeling 1, single hand stepping. That's our first course of action. I'm going to do it facing you first, and then at some stage I might turn for the back view. Sometimes facing the class can actually be a bit disconcerting, or you know, if you're used to mirroring or not used to mirroring, it's an issue. But I want you to be able to see what's happening first, then I'll turn my back. So we lengthen up, please, the chin slightly down and back, and release and relax down through your body. Calming down. And listen behind. Find your fingertips and just give them a little bit of awareness, maybe even a little bit of an extension. just enough that the energy engages. Then release belly, hips, and knees. We're going to take your right hand onto waist, and we use the tiger's mouth, so the gap between thumb and finger, that's where your waist goes, if you can comfortably. And release, bring the other palm up so the fingers touch your center line. So from your nose, that center line, you're extending and touching the center line. We look before we step, and step open, feet parallel. Notice we remain a little bit more on your right side, on the supporting side, and we begin. Palm flips on one. This is movement 3 actually. Palm flips on 3, feet across, shoulder, elbow, hands, fingertips on 4. Turn and release, 1, feet across, palm faces up, 2. Turn, palm faces down, 3, feet across, 4. Now you want to turn a maximum of 45 degrees, but make it subtle. Relax. Less is more. Feed across and a little turn. Feed across and a little turn. And we want to remain absolutely upright in our bodies. So don't be tempted to dip your body as the hand sinks. And as you move, the arm continuously rotates. So it's turning for the thumb edge to be fully turned under. Release. And as you feed across, you're turning for the little finger edge to be fully turned up. Release. Breathe. Good. Now, as I watch classes doing this, the biggest issue that I see is people move too much. They do too much. So we just want to glide across so that we're square to the front and then a little turn. Glide across so that you're square and then a little turn. Remember, the center is the powerhouse that drives the rotation, that drives the movement. So you're looking to time on this. So if you can get one hand moving well, then you stand a chance of getting 2 hands moving well. If you can have one hand moving well, you stand a chance of moving hand and feet together well. So repetition, relax and breathe. Think of the practice as worthy to do because it's good, as opposed to doing it a means to an end. Good, okay. So now we're going to let's change arms before we step. Good. So we turn and feed across. Turn, feed across. Square to the front, turn. There is a lot of stuff going on in this. There's a lot of subtlety, a lot of nuance, and it all relates to the yin-yang picture. So as you turn your body, you release your arm. As you square up and travel across, you turn your arm. As you turn your body, you release the arm. As you glide across, the arm twists, turns. Turn. Don't try to breathe in a particular way, just breathe through your movement. Breathe with your movement. Let go of tension in your arms. Let the arms be soft and light. Keep the feeling of connection. Change arms, so you're using your left arm. And now we're going to add a step. Now remember the concept, the foot starts to move the moment you touch the halfway point. So we glide across and come in. Stay on the left, feeding across. Once you're halfway, you can release the foot. Stay on the right. Feed across, and as soon as you can, basically, you start to move the foot. But you can't move it while you've still got weight on it. So once you're halfway, I feed across. There's my halfway point. Now I can step. So I arrive, hand and foot together. Come in. Stay right. Changing weight, step. Stay left. Changing weight, step. Stay right. Good, we're going to change arms. If we had a bigger space, we would just do a nice big long tranche going one way and pong back and forth. Good, let's change arms. Last. Change arms to the other side. You can do one arm on its own and then and rest. In fact, the simpler the exercise, the more likely you are to be able to grasp the depths of Tai Chi within it. You can do it with any exercise in Tai Chi. You can go right down deep, but the more complex it is, the easier it is to actually stay in the shallow end and not do it particularly well. And that can happen for decades if we're not careful. Having a master that you can talk to, that you can study with, can make a huge difference. Literally 10 minutes with a master can fix something that hadn't been right. And the fella who actually created Chan Tzu Gong Grandmaster Chen Xiaowang. I don't know how it happened, but I managed to be in his class for many years. Not consistent, like not every week, but you know, he would come over once a year and we would do 24 hours of training with him. And his son the same. Once a year would do 24 hours of training with him. And though that sounds like a drop in the bucket, 24 hours of training with a master is better than 10, 20 years studying with a teacher who hasn't got that depth as thoroughly as we possibly can. So something that I want you to be aware of with that exercise, we talked about overturning and overshifting, that often I would see people, they would turn, that's fine, and then they would come across, but they'd already start to turn, and then they've nowhere to go to, you know, and they overturn. So it's very, very slight. You're sliding across and it's a quarter turn. So 45 degrees is a lot less than you might think. You know, people think, oh, 45 degrees. No, it's a little movement. And then gliding across, you're untwisting. But if you just think of gliding across, you will naturally untwist. So we just want you to get back to square. So if you had headlights on your hips, the beams would be going forwards. So then a slight turn. Think of a release, really, of shoulder and hip rather than a turn. And that's all you need. And then glide across and again square. So that's really important that we don't over egg it and that we keep the feeling of connection between center and hand. If we don't keep the connection, then we can turn and nothing has happened here. That's a broken connection and therefore it's no longer driving anything. So we have to have a feeling of structure. So as we turn the center, it moves the arm. It fuels the movement and it drives the movement. And as we glide across, it moves the arm, as opposed to gliding across and moving the arm. That's a disconnect and we've lost the whole essence of what we're trying to do, which is driving and powering it all from center. So be a bit careful of that. Another issue that I tend to see with movement one, the first movement, is that people go too far. Their arm just keeps going straight, out to the side. It's a very boxy movement directly at you. It is foreshortened, so it's not to here. See the difference? So when we turn 3, we feed across 4. It's boxy. It's like you're stood in a box, pushing the edges of the box with your forearms. Don't let it go further. So that's the shape of it, the visual shape of it. But what we want to feel for energetically is that there is energy in your hands. You'll feel a kind of heat. Literally, sometimes as I do this, I feel like I'm holding my hand to a fire. There's heat in the hand. And that's because in that position with the thumb edge, full shoulder blade slick against my back, I'm not letting the shoulder blade rise up. In that position, it's full yang. So it means that the energy has reached as far as it can to the fingertips. It can go no further. And so you feel the heat of your own life force in your hands. Then, as soon as you start to turn, the little finger edge starts to dip. That is the beginning of the inward flowing spiral. So it starts to send the energy back in. And you'll notice instantly a coolness arrives in your arm and a heaviness and a relaxation, as opposed to up here where it's full twist. It's really kind of switched on and fully active. Here, it's a release. You're starting to recover. And then as you feed across, guiding into center, it's a full-on twist up, but there should be very much a feeling of resting in your center as opposed to pushing. So this is the 4 stages of preparation, action, recovery, and rest. So within this cycle, you have the full spectrum of exercise. And because of that, hopefully, it means you can do a lot of repetition without getting too fatigued. Because here is preparation. The energy rises up your back to between your shoulder blades, like a wound-up spring. It's ready to go. But you haven't used that energy yet until here. Shoulder, elbow, hand, fingertips. There's your boxy position. The energy is full in your fingers. That's yang. Then we release, little finger edge spirals the energy back up the arm and down to waist. That's recovery. And glide across, feeding the energy back into the dantian. You have rest. So you have this repetition. Preparation, action, recovery, rest. Preparation, action, recovery, rest. The energy is cycling up the back, along the arms to fingertips, back up the arms to waist, and back to center. Now, all of the silk reeling has that same flow of energy. The energy always goes up the back. It always goes along the arms to the fingertips. It always comes back up the arms and down to the waist, and it always returns to center. No matter which silk reeling exercise it is, that always happens. However, better to practice and be mindful of it in silk reeling 1 with a single arm, rather than trying to work it out, for example, with double arms. Too much is happening. As one side goes to yang, the other side goes to yin. And I have tried following it with my mind, and I ended up practically scrambling my brain. And when I said to Master Chen Yin Jun, oh, I've been trying to follow it with my mind, he said, who told you to do that? Don't do that. That's not good. Because that's duality. It's creating a split of awareness. Don't do that. It's enough that you can follow the harmony, that you're creating yin and yang in perfect harmony. Don't try to go, okay, so this is up the back and this is this is down to the waist. It's too much. Don't do that. I've done it wrong so that you don't have to. Okay, so any questions? No? All right, lovely. Let's do silk reeling 1, but the second part, that's double hands and double hand stepping. So we start with our feet together and we lengthen up, chin slightly down and back. Take a moment and calm, relaxing down. Let's lift the toes, turn to 45 degrees, pop the foot down, relax belly, hips, knees, float the arms up, front hand faces up to begin, back palm faces down to begin, and we step forwards. Okay, now I'm going to come a bit closer so that you can follow the hands. So we're going to turn towards the back and flip the hands over. So now your hand towards the back is facing up, the hand nearest the front is facing down. We feed forwards and turn towards the front, roll your hands over. Feed the weight back, hands in front of shoulders, and release, relax. Circle back and down. Feed the weight forward, circle under and roll up. Feed the weight back, hands in front of shoulders, and relax down. I want your shoulders to be absolutely relaxed. They should not hardly move at all. The movement should be visible from the elbows down. So even the elbows nice and relaxed. Feed the weight forwards and circle up. Feed the weight back and circle down. Now I'm going to do it with you. That's my left. So, okay, so right, yeah. So that's correct, yeah? So we feed the weight forwards and circle up, and feed the weight back and circle down. Forwards, circle up, back, circle down. The same principle as you slide across, both arms twist. But now one is twisting palm facing up and the other is twisting with the palm, the thumb edge under. As you turn your body, the arms release and rise. feed the weight back. There's your twist again. Front palm facing up, back palm facing out. And as you turn the body, release and swing down. Under and up, back and down. Notice your breath. Now I'm going to turn sideways on just so you can see it from a different angle. But you keep going, please, if you can. Feed it back in front of shoulders, circle down. Again, we want to keep the structure between the hands and the center. If the center moves, the hands move. If the center does not move, the hands should not move. Good. Okay, lovely. It's looking good, ladies. Well done. Okay, so now we're going to add the step. And the step is really quite simple. As we start to feed the weight forwards, as soon as you can, bring the back foot in and put the foot down so the heels touch. Stay forwards, roll up, feed the weight back, and as soon as you can step and circle down. Again, forwards and step, stay forwards, roll up, back, step, stay back, roll down. Forwards and in, roll up, back and step, roll down. Forwards and in, roll up, back and step, roll down. Until you run out of space and rest. Good. Now we're going to do our stepping back. So stay forwards in your space and follow me, please. So we stand together, we lengthen up, chin slightly down and back, lengthening the fingers down, calming down. Let's extend the left arm forwards and release belly, hips, knees. Place the right palm level with the greater trochanter, so the top of your leg where it meets your hip, and release your left heel. And we step back, push the heel out to relax down, feed the weight back and draw in. Open, touch, relax the foot down, feed the weight back and draw in. Arms twist as you draw in. Touch, relax down, feed the weight back. The foot comes in, the arm stays extended, because that helps you. Only when you touch does the hand start to release and come back. And draw in. Touch, relax down, feed the weight back and draw in. Well done, relax down. Now we're going to do the double hands on the other side. So let's lengthen up, relax down, lift your left toes and turn out. Did we do that side already? Which side did we do? I think we did the right, yes. So lift the left toes, turn out and sit down. And we bring the right palm, the palm closest to the front faces up, the hand closest to the back faces down, and we step forwards. So we turn, flip the hands and feed forwards. Turn, flip the hands, rise up, feed the weight back in front of shoulders, turn and relax down. Underneath, roll the hands over, feed the weight back, stay straight, relax the arms down. Good, and let's try walking. So we feed forwards, bring the back foot in, heels touch, stay forwards, feed back as soon as you can, step forwards, relax down. So we don't want to speed up, we just want to start to step as soon as you can release that foot. Good, and rest. And finally, we step back again on the other side. So we lengthen up, relax down, right hand extends forwards, release and sit down, left hand level with the dantian. And we step, push the heel out, feed the weight back, twist, touch, heel out, feed the weight back, the arms twist as you draw in, release. And rest, take a breath. Jolly well done. So we have covered Chansagong 1. So it's single hand stepping, double hand with stepping forwards and stepping back. I hope you enjoyed that recap of everything that we've done so far in Chansagong. Now I'd like to come together and we'll do a little relaxation to finish. So if you have a chair that's comfortable, handy, if you'd like to take it. Often in Tai Chi classes, we would spend the whole class doing physical stuff, which is grand, that's fine. But remember, Tai Chi is based around the yin-yang image, we call it the Tai Chi picture. And the physical stuff is very obvious in Tai Chi, but there is an aspect which is not so physical. So it's funny, even standing practice, which is stillness practice, is still in its way physical. If you've ever tried standing absolutely stock still for a period of time, you'll realize that it is harder work than it looks. Because if you're not physically pumping the body and the energy by movement, then the internal structures have to do it for you. So even standing practice is really quite physical, but there are all the variations from extreme physicality all the way to extreme stillness on the other side. All of this is described within our Tai Chi practice. So we're going to do a little bit of Neigong for a few minutes now. Neigong refers to the internal journey as opposed to something external. So all Tai Chi is Qigong. Qigong means vitality practice, cultivation. So all of the movements that we do also have an effect on our Qi. But Neigong is the more internal aspects where there may not be any physical movement whatsoever. We're taking a journey of the mind, we're taking a journey within the system where we connect and gently influence our energy. So make yourself comfortable, please. Plant your feet to the floor and lengthening up through the top of the head. Actually, with Neigong, you can do it in pretty much any position, but we would always encourage the best posture that you can manage. So a nice straight spine is preferable. Not just straight, but the top of the head released a little upwards. And then the chin slightly down and back. And can you feel as you do that, the neck lengthens, it releases and opens. So we don't want to force it with tension, but rather see if you can float into that position and then let go. So we're going to do a little breath exercise to help us quickly go into our Neigong. So we're going to take a deep breath and then an extra little breath at the top. And you can use your arms to do it. We're going to hold our breath for about 4 seconds and then breathe out for about 10 seconds, releasing and relaxing the arms down. This is called the physiological sigh. Are you ready? Deep breath in, hold, and breathing out through the mouth. It's like letting air out of a balloon. Let go of your tension as you breathe out. And we're going to do that 3 times. Again, please, deep breath in, hold, and let go, let go, let go. Any tension in your body, let it drain away now. Very good. One more time. Ready? Deep breath in, hold, and let it all go. Good. So all we want left is the very top of the head floating up and the chin slightly down and back. And now let the rest of your body completely flop. Just let it go. The thing is, if you have the top of your head floating up, when the rest of the body flops, it hangs down into perfect alignment. So now just let your breath flow as you feel and listen into your body. Without making the breath do anything, I invite you to pay attention to what you can actually feel within your system. Notice any sensations. In the most advanced Neigong, all you would do would be cast the net of your awareness wide as you can, meaning that you are listening and feeling into any sensations, both internal and external, not differentiating at all between what is inside you and what is outside you. It is all your awareness. It is all part of the Neigong experience. Just open your awareness. But if you're just starting on the Neigong journey, a little bit more guidance, a little bit more focus can ease you in easier. So I'm going to ask you to listen behind you. Listen to that little cushion of air between your body and your clothes, especially against your back, the back of your legs, even against the chair. Listen behind you. Then open your awareness a little bit further and listen to the space between your body and the back of your chair. Can you feel that cushion of air? Let's reach our awareness out a little bit further and feel behind you to the limits of the room, to the wall or window or doors behind you, and stretch your awareness out like a cape from your shoulders into the corners of the room behind you. You may know what the room looks like, but I want you to feel with your awareness. Can you feel where the limits of the room are? Can you sense the objects in the space? And now let's see if we can reach through the wall with our awareness and feel into the space outside the building. You may be able to hear the sounds of traffic or bird song or enthusiastic gardening. Whatever you can hear, especially behind you, listen to it now. Humans, as omnivores and predators, we tend to have all of our senses geared towards what's in front of us. So actually, by listening behind you, we are engaging the brain in a very different way. Listening behind you helps us to calm. It helps us to be aware of our entire surroundings. It helps us to balance our blood pressure. And it helps us to quieten and calm the mind. As you listen behind you, you'll notice a deeper silence. Let your awareness now fill out into a full circle around you, stretching out in all directions, not just a circle but a ball. Feel above you, feel beneath you, feeling into the sky, into the earth, into the air around you in all directions. And allow that stillness to remain. This is Wuji, universal oneness. Anything that you can feel, perceive, is a part of you. You can stretch your awareness out infinitely in all directions. So in a very real sense, you are the universe from a single perspective. There are no limits, no boundaries. Your focus, your awareness is one. Beautiful. Let that feeling of open, expansive freedom stay with you through your day and into your evening. And at any stage you can return to your Wuji practice. But for now, let's gently bring the awareness back to your space, the room around you. Bring your awareness back to the body. Draw your awareness gently in to the very center of your belly and draw your hands in as well. Overlap your hands to your dantian, hugging your elbows gently in, and remind yourself of the center of your being, the center of your own universe. Feel the touch of your hands guiding your awareness into your belly, and feel your energy is stronger. Beautiful, well done. We're going to ease from the stance, wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, and slowly and gently moving a little bit more, reminding yourself what your room looks like, where you are, and when you're ready, you can slowly and gently open your eyes. Beautiful. Well done, everyone. I'm a couple of minutes over. Apologies. So I'm not going to do a whole wake-up routine with you, but I would like you to do your shaking out and your stamping of your feet, your rubbing your hands and your flashlights and jazz hands and patting down and all those things. You can take your time if you have time to do all these things, and remember to refresh yourself with a nice glass of water or even a hot drink, and that will help to wake you up and encourage the qi to keep flowing and keep giving you a lovely detox that all of this Tai Chi will have done for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed your practice, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.